We love transparency. It sounds good, right? Like sunshine disinfecting dirty things. But what if transparency isn't the cure-all we think it is? What if, in the shadowy world of politics, transparency is just another tool? A tool that can be used for good, sure, but also for less noble purposes. We want to believe that shining a light on government makes it better. That knowing what goes on behind closed doors keeps everyone honest. But does it? Or does it just give those with the most to gain, the lobbyists, the special interests, a better view of the game? Transparency, it turns out, is a double-edged sword. It can expose corruption and hold power accountable, but it can also be exploited, used to manipulate and distort the very systems it's meant to protect. Lobbyists, those well-dressed, well-connected hired guns of the political world, thrive on information. And what is transparency but information, laid bare for all to see? They track every bill, every amendment, every vote. They know who's saying what, who's meeting whom, and most importantly, who's open to persuasion. Imagine this: a lobbyist for a big corporation wants a tax break. They see, thanks to our wonderful transparency laws, that a key senator is drafting a bill on, you guessed it, tax reform. Perfect. The lobbyist then uses that knowledge to their advantage. They wine and dine the senator, whisper sweet nothings about campaign contributions, and slip in their perfectly crafted self-serving language. Transparency in this case has become a weapon. It allows lobbyists to target lawmakers with laser focus, exploiting the legislative process for their own gain. And the scary part? It's all perfectly legal. So what happens when lobbying goes unchecked? When the voices of the powerful drown out the needs of the many? We get policy capture. It's a fancy term for a simple, depressing reality. When special interests control the levers of power, writing the rules in their favor and leaving everyone else out in the cold. Take, for example, the pharmaceutical industry. They spend millions lobbying Congress, and what do they get for their money? Laws that protect their profits, even at the expense of affordable healthcare for everyday Americans. Or the fossil fuel industry, pouring money into the pockets of politicians who then block action on climate change. Policy capture is the dark side of transparency. It's what happens when the system, designed to serve the people, is hijacked by those with the most to gain. And it's a threat to the very foundation of a functioning democracy. Section 4. The price of influence. How lobbying warps priorities. The insidious thing about lobbying is that it doesn't just influence individual policies, it warps the entire political agenda. When lawmakers are bombarded with calls, emails, and campaign cash from lobbyists representing powerful industries, it's no surprise that those industries' priorities rise to the top. Think about it. How many times have you heard politicians talk about the urgent need to address climate change, income inequality, or campaign finance reform? Now compare that to how often you hear them talk about tax breaks for corporations, deregulation, or other issues near and dear to the hearts of big money lobbyists. The result? A political system that's increasingly out of touch with the needs and concerns of ordinary people. A system where the issues that matter most, healthcare, education, a livable planet, get sidelined in favor of policies that benefit the few at the expense of the many. Section 5. Eroding trust. Lobbying's corrosive effect on democracy. The real tragedy of lobbying's influence isn't just the bad policies it produces, but the way it eats away at the very fabric of our democracy. When people see their elected officials bought and paid for by special interests, it breeds cynicism and distrust. It makes them question whether their voices even matter in a system that seems rigged against them. This erosion of trust is incredibly dangerous. It creates a vicious cycle where people become disengaged from the political process, allowing special interests to exert even more influence. After all, if nobody is paying attention, nobody will notice when the lobbyists rewrite the rules in their favor. To save our democracy, we need to restore faith in our institutions. We need to show people that their voices matter, and that their government works for them, not for the highest bidder. Section 6. fighting back, reclaiming transparency for the people. So, how do we fix this? How do we reclaim transparency from the grip of special interests and make it work for the public good? It won't be easy, but it starts with leveling the playing field. We need stricter lobbying laws with real teeth that limit the influence of money in politics. We need to shine a light on the dark corners of lobbying, requiring lobbyists to disclose their activities and their clients. And we need to empower regular people to make their voices heard, amplifying their concerns over the roar of corporate cash. Remember, transparency alone isn't enough. It's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or evil. It's up to us, the people, to ensure that transparency serves its true purpose, to hold power accountable and build a more just and equitable society. Section 7. Towards a more transparent future. A call to action. This isn't just about politics, it's about our future. It's about creating a world where everyone has a fair shot, where the rules are written for the many, not the few. It's about building a democracy that truly represents the will of the people, not the whims of special interests. So let's demand better. Let's demand transparency that empowers, not enables. Let's hold our elected officials accountable for their actions and their allegiances. Let's fight for a future where transparency lives up to its promise, a future where the light of truth shines brightly on all of us. Because in the end, transparency isn't just about seeing what's happening, it's about demanding better. It's about creating a world where the truth sets us free.